Ryan.
This is the podcast.
This is Mighty Fish Podcast, episode 6 for the week of August 10th, 2016.
Year of our Lord.
There we go.
AD.
We're back after a 1 week hiatus.
Has it only been 1 week?
It's only been a week.
It feels like it's been so much
We
longer.
recorded the episode 5 earlier than we usually do.
So
we haven't recorded in a while, but the podcast still came out
on time.
So it'll only be 2 weeks.
Yeah, God, it feels so much longer. We both got tied up. We know we made a lot of promises with the last episode. We delivered on none of them.
We were very confident.
We were very confident, and then we got kicked in the dick.
It happens. Josh was working on his theater production.
Yeah, I'm involved with one of the local theaters around here.
And I was on vacation. I went to Bermuda, Bahamas, Montego, someplace called Kokomo, which I believe is in Indiana.
Come on, pretty mama.
So,
Did you get there fast?
I took it slow.
You took it slow?
I got there pretty fast.
But you took it slow.
A lot of those are in the Florida Keys, and I think you can only take a boat there.
Yeah, oh, well, that hampers your ability to get there fast.
But when I got there, I took it slow.
Well, wait a minute. Can you get there fast on a speedboat?
Yeah, I think you could.
Yeah. I mean, you might lose some of your luggage.
I mean,
well, how fast is the speed?
I don't know. Well, that's also how many knots.
How many knots are you pulling?
I think getting there fast is a mindset. So, I mean, even if you're in a dinghy, as long as you're you're not dilly-dallying, and you're just like, we gotta get there.
It's true.
You're getting there fast.
It's true.
Even if you're not in a vessel that's capable of high speeds.
Of high speeds. It would be the most efficient way to get there and make the biggest statement.
Paragliding.
Not what I was going for, but also cool.
But by helicopter?
But helicopter, yeah, if you're a chump.
Okay, I'm ready. I guess I'll just let you say it.
You want to know?
Since my guessing.
You want to know, or you want to just keep throwing random bullshit out there?
I'm ready. I want to know.
Fucking take a seaplane.
Oh, yeah.
With the big fucking pontoons on
That's
the bottom.
True. You could take a
Do they even make those planes still?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
God, those were like my favorite when I was a kid.
I think they're big in Alaska, right? Because they just fly and they land in lakes because there's nowhere else to land.
It's like those and helicopters that we were talking about. But dude, those were my favorite planes when I was a kid, man. They were just so cool to me. I don't know how safe they are, but they look cool.
What about what was it? The Hercules, the one from The Aviator.
Oh yeah,
that gigantic one,
the ridiculous one.
Yeah,
like the. Wait, wasn't that the Spruce Goose?
Spruce Goose?
Spruce Goose is made out of wood.
See, I don't think this one was made out of wood because they were talking about the rivets in the movie.
I need my Howard Hughes.
Yeah,
I'm not up on my Howard Hughes.
My Pan Am. It was Pan Am, right? No, Hughes aircraft? Just Hughes? I don't know. Fuck. I should have never brought it up.
We're being exposed as fools right now. History buffs are just shaking their fist in rage.
Well.
Now that that's over.
So now that you're confused about what actually happened, half of that was true. Half of that wasn't.
Yeah. Ryan did not enact in real life a Beach Boys tune.
A Beach Boys fantasy vacation. I did go to Key Largo though. So
did you really?
No.
Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go Bermuda? Sorry,
Jamaica.
But we're back. Maybe when you were flying, when you went to Europe a couple of years ago, you had to take a stop over in Key Largo.
No, I was in Atlanta.
Oh, there you go.
And then you fly in this weird arc.
Isn't that the?
So
what do they call it?
You don't just take off east.
Yeah, that's A-Town, right? The dirty.
Yeah.
The dirty. Mm-hmm. Is that the dirty?
I think it is.
Okay.
Or maybe that's Memphis.
Why do we keep talking about things we have no... That seems to be our whole MO.
Let's just bring up topics of conversation we're completely ignorant of.
No, we don't go anywhere or do anything.
No, we don't. Well, we're back now.
Yes, we're back, and we're here to entertain the four of you.
It's true. And while the last episode had a current movie film in it,
yes,
we haven't really seen anything.
No,
but
we did finally do what we said we were going to do. I think in the first episode,
I believe so,
and one of the early episodes, and we watched Batman versus Superman.
Ultimate Edition.
Ultimate Edition, because that's what we found.
Yeah, that's what we were able to watch.
Yeah, that's what we were able to watch.
So, I feel like this is a good time to bring up this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of controversy around the DC...
That's not how it's even spelled, anyway.
Around the DC extended cinematic universe of sorts. That's just what they're calling it.
Are they calling it the extended cinematic?
I think it's DC extended universe is what they're calling it.
Okay, whatever. Trying to play off that fucking 52 reality kind of thing, I guess.
I don't know.
Anyway.
But, so Suicide Squad came out, and it has not been doing very well with the critics, although it smashed...
It's making money.
Yeah, it smashed August opening numbers.
It's like a Transformers film.
Yeah.
People hate it, but it's still making money.
Yeah, so... But along with that, there is a lot of talk among these DC fans that there's a conspiracy going on because that's real life.
Well, it's important to point out that there's DC fans, which I am, and there's the nut guys.
I've recently
fanboys.
Yeah, I've recently been getting into comics, and DC Warner Brothers, along with the fanboys, as you put it, are honestly making me hate DC.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a big fan in the first place. I think Superman's dumb, and Batman's grown on me a little bit.
Yeah, you've grown to like the Bat.
Yeah, and Superman is dumb on his own, but like, you should embrace it. I'm not endorsing what Zack Snyder has done to him. Yeah, no, he's not talking about this particular version that's being put forth. He is a hater of the Boy Scout. He doesn't like Big Blue because he's just, what did you call him? God, you had a name for him. It was, they shouldn't call him Superman. They should just call him. It was a reference to the fact that he has a power for everything. Yeah, convenient power man.
Yeah, convenient power man. Yeah.
He has some new power that you didn't know he had. If it's not just him being super fast and super strong, out of nowhere he'll have a type of vision that is like very, very useful in one certain instance. Like, why does he have that power? It only matters right now. But don't get it twisted. I don't care for what Zack Snyder has done either. So I guess we should talk about that. I just thought.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up that right now, DC. It seems like why the hell are we talking about this so late? The DC controversy is right.
You say that and you look at me, and I know what you're doing, and it drives me nuts.
Is right back in the limelight right now. So,
well, it's never really faded. I mean, because Batman v Superman came out, and then just as that started to die off, this came out, and now everybody's pissed off again.
Well, it had faded
super pissed right now.
It had faded a little bit, and we'll get into this. It had faded a little bit because people had claimed that this Ultimate Edition took the movie from quote unquote a C- to like a solid B, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, like watching the Ultimate Edition on its own without seeing the theatrical version. We haven't seen the theatrical version at all. We've just seen the 4-hour Super R version.
I don't know why it was a hard R.
I still don't know why it was a hard R. I was going to get into that in a bit here. I can't imagine how shitty the theatrical version is if that made it a better movie.
If this is the version that quote unquote makes sense and ties more things together and explains motivations better,
yeah,
then what the fuck was up with the theatrical?
How fucking bad is Batman versus Superman? Yeah. But like that all said, I don't understand the extreme hate that the film is getting, and I don't understand the extreme praise that the Ultimate Edition is getting.
Yeah,
it's just weird. It's a forgettable movie. It's just a bad movie.
Like most things, the truth is always somewhere in the middle on something like this that has extremes on both sides.
Yeah.
I watched the movie. I wasn't impressed.
No.
I didn't hate it.
No.
There were moments that were all right, but it was confusing.
It was very confusing, and that's what I'm talking about. I can't imagine how confusing the original version is if this was still leaving me going, what the fuck? Why is Lex doing this? Why is Lois here? Why aren't they just talking? And why is Batman so mad at Superman? And
yeah, so like, yeah, confusing. Motivations are unclear. Characters and scenes happen for almost no reason sometimes. It's just now this is happening.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand.
It jumps too. Like it's just to get to the next scene to tell the rest of that part of the movie.
Yeah.
There's no flow to it at all.
And for a movie touted as the ultimate showdown, there wasn't a lot of showdown.
There wasn't a lot of showdown at all. It took forever for them to do anything.
And as dumb as that is, because it's like Superman versus Batman, you kind of know how this is going to go, you still are like, they're doing it, so do it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't hate it.
It didn't spend enough time on both characters.
I didn't hate it. And then at the same time, all these people who are like, you know what, I didn't like the theatrical that much, but this extended edition, I'm really digging it.
It's way better.
I don't understand that either, because it's still a confusing mess.
It is. It's a very big mess.
So it's right in the middle, which is almost the worst.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean by it being forgettable. It doesn't do the sin of being horrible, and it doesn't do the greatness of being very good. It's just stuck in the center, which is the ultimate problem. It's just...
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, oh, this is just mediocrity.
Another movie that I don't even know if we ever talked about it. We watched it, and I don't even know if we ever talked about it on the podcast. But another movie that had this same problem that we were expecting to be very, very bad and like laughably bad.
Gods of Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny because everybody hated on Warcraft, and I feel like none of them saw Gods of Egypt. Because holy shit, was that a fucking terrible film. That's one of those movies, like we're saying, where you can see the good that could have been in it, or the bad that could have been in it, and it doesn't go either way.
It won't commit.
It doesn't commit to either.
To being serious.
Yeah.
Which can make it like so bad it's good, or going total cheesy nonsense, which means it's so bad it's bad.
Exactly.
And that's amusing in its own right.
Embrace the corn, I guess we could call it.
It wasn't such a failure that it was amusing, and it didn't embrace it enough to make it good bad. Mm-hmm. It was right in the middle of just ugh.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like I agree with you. I believe that's where Batman v Superman falls. Because I mean, I don't understand. Why is Lex so? Lex is trying to get Batman taken out. Why? Oh, he just doesn't like Superman, so he wants Superman. He wants Batman to kill Superman. No, he wants Batman to kill Superman. No, wait, he wants them to kill each other. No, he wants what Superman has. What does Superman have? Wait, no, he wants to get inside the alien ship.
Yeah, when he gives Superman the ultimatum.
Spoilers if you haven't seen it. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it needs to be said, but like, yeah, okay, you're shaking your head at me.
when Lex gives Superman the ultimatum of like it's a showdown, and was he glad that Batman stole the kryptonite? Did he? So that made me think he wanted him to
Yeah,
to
because he came walking in and they were like, "Oh, I just kicked our ass and took the shit," and he's just like, "Oh, okay." Like, did he set him up to steal the kryptonite?
Well, no, because if you remember, there was an exciting car chase to get the kryptonite that failed, and then he just went and stole it off camera later.
Camera. And everybody was just like, "Ow, that really hurt what just happened. You should have been here." Oh, my noggin. But he wasn't mad that it got stolen.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. So then, is that when he devised the plan?
Yeah, is that when his plan changed, or was that the plan the whole time?
Or does he hate both of them? What was he going to do with Martha if he had died?
Kill her anyway? I don't fucking know, dude.
What was the plan for Batman, who clearly knew Lex was a dick after Superman was dead?
Yeah. Are you looking at me for answers? Because I don't have them, dude. Shit. The one thing that we both had for praise of the movie, we talked about this after watching it, in opposed to Civil War,
yes,
was Superman, when the showdown is going to start, after Lex presents Clark with his ultimatum, "I'm going to kill your fucking ma." Yeah.
Unless you go and kill Batman.
Unless you go and kill Batman.
But then he was all like, "Oh, Batman did." Okay, well, let's get
we'll get to that in a second. The praise that we had in opposition to Civil War was Clark lands on that rooftop and is like, "Bro, we gotta talk." And then Batman's like, "No, fuck you," and then like starts trying to fight him, and Clark tries to talk to him still, and Bruce keeps coming at him, and he's just like, "Dude, knock it the fuck off. We have to talk. You don't know what's going on." And then it was dumb as shit because Bruce, I think Bruce pushed him. Who pushed who? Somebody pushes. It's like a schoolyard fight, dude.
Yeah, finally, Superman loses his shit and is like, "Enough's enough," and he goes to punch him, right?
Yeah.
And that's when he does the block.
He blocks and he's like, "What?"
And then he's like, "What?" And then that's when he fucking pushes him through the wall.
That's
and
right.
then it's just like, "Oh, well, it's on now."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
even still, they tussle for a bit, and Clark still goes back to his point of like, "Bro, we need to talk."
Yeah.
You know, there was a point though where the kryptonite, that was what it was. He hit him with that kryptonite spray.
The spray.
And then fucking they duked it out for a bit, and that's when he blocked the punch. But when it wore off and Batman's just boom, just 1-2ing him in the face, and Clark's just like,
yeah, and he's like, "Okay."
And it's just like, there should have been a point where he was just like, "Are you done yet? Can we please talk?" And then maybe he hits him again and the fight continues. But they needed to carry that Clark's here to talk more. But they made the initial effort, whereas Civil War made no effort.
Yeah.
Once the punches started flying, that was it.
There was a scene where it looks like they were discussing it, but it was two people who were like, fuck you, and then they left. They had several fights and never were like, shit's getting out of hand. Maybe we should talk.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. No, that never happened. And I liked Civil War a lot. We know that. But I was really happy. That was the only time in that movie that I was actually pleased with what was going on.
I really liked it.
I was just like, "Oh, okay, cool. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk this out." No, we're going to talk it out. No, dude, stop hitting me. Dude, okay, fine, fuck you. And it escalated into a fight, and I liked that. But it took so long to get there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just... The only I really like it, but at the same time, it paints Superman Batman as such a dick.
Yeah,
he's showing up like, "Hey, let's talk. Maybe I can talk. I can show you that I'm not just some crazy alien who wants to kill everybody."
Yeah,
and he's just like, "Nope, I'm here for murder."
And I feel like they tried to set that up with Alfred going, It's what turns good men cruel.
Yeah.
And that whole thing. But, like, they never spent enough time on Batman's character and how, I mean, for as much time, because this is a Batman movie. It's not a Superman movie.
No.
He's barely in the fucking film, Clark in general.
Yeah. He's just upset about being Superman.
Yeah, he's just upset about Superman while also being shown basking in his fucking adulation of everyone around him. He's always just like, people are reaching out for him and he's like a Jesus, you know? And he's just like, oh, yes. And then they're just like, you suck on Capitol Hill.
Yes.
And he's just like, oh, why does everybody think I suck? It's hard being Superman.
Yeah.
But they didn't. But a moment like that's set up with Alfred about, this is what turns good men cruel. He's telling him, Bruce, you're going down the wrong fucking road. This is not what we set out to do.
Yeah.
And that's not really expanded upon.
No.
He just, from that point on, you just watch him beat the shit out of everybody. And also, this was a point, but there was a stopping point for me with that, with the violence and stuff. Everybody's talking about how Batman was wantonly murdering everyone.
Yes, I was not referring to that. I was referring to the fact that, he did want to murder
He wanted to murder Superman.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is true.
Yeah, no, but aside from that dream sequence, which is an obvious fantasy.
Yes. Where the world, where, like, he almost has, even if you wanted to take that as, like, even in a fantasy Batman wouldn't kill people, it's like, this is like a post-apocalyptic wasteland situation.
This is different, yeah. It's Darkseid has arrived, stakes have changed, things have to happen.
Yeah.
That's Bruce. He adapts to the situation. That's always been Batman.
Yes, except for that.
Except for that, where was this him running around killing fuckers all day long? Like, everything that I read was just he was walking around with a pistol, shooting the shit out of everybody. And I mean, yes, he brutally. Some people probably didn't survive that fight scene.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if they did, they're maimed horribly for life. Like, there's cripples.
Yeah.
Out there now because of what happened there. But that's the Bat. That's what he does.
He definitely killed people in combat, but it wasn't like he just walked into a room and then just shot everybody dead and was like...
Yeah. The one guy that he... Let's be real. He probably killed.
Yes.
Was the lead henchman, Lex's lead guy.
Yeah.
With the fuel tank, with the flamethrower.
Mr. I'm in Hydra and a Lex Luthor fucking bad guy.
Breaking all kinds of comic book rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the only non-fantasy blatant murder of somebody who he really had no other choice. There was one.
Yeah. No.
And he didn't have a choice.
And I'll be real, yes, he exploded and stuff. I mean, you saw that it looked like he blew up. But he could have just been horribly maimed. He could have been horribly burned. He's probably dead.
Yes.
But, like, I don't know. I felt like they were trying to set up a Batman villain with him.
If it was...
Because he seems like Firebat.
Okay, well, that's what I was going to say. I said...
Firefly. I said Firebat, Firefly.
If this was a Marvel movie, I would buy that... Yeah. They would see him later like, I got exploded and now
well, because, I mean, Crossbones got a building dropped on him and he survived.
Exactly. But, like, in these fucking super dark, ridiculous DC
over-the-top real movie.
Yeah.
Real, quote-unquote.
I'm just like, that guy died.
Oh, yeah, he's super dead. He's super dead, but, like, there's a part of me that's just, it felt like they were trying to set up Firefly in a certain way.
Yeah.
And Firefly is burned. He's a pyromaniac. And he's burned all over the place. And he wears a fucking flame suit and he flies around and uses a flamethrower. And he was always using that fucking flamethrower. So I really thought that they were trying to, like, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. This could be Firefly.
Yeah, and it definitely could be. And that's just something that I didn't notice when I wanted to argue. Like, dude, he's definitely dead. So we're saying, if you want to be a complete cynic, there really is only one person that he murdered knowingly, intentionally.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure he definitely meant to fuck some guys up. Yeah. And he shot at some fucking guys, like in a car earlier on, that the car blew up.
That's the Batmobile in the 1989 Batman. They used grenades and had fucking .250 caliber machine guns on the sides. he fucking blew up that chemical plant.
Yeah.
Filled with people.
Yeah.
So this is not the first time that Batman has murdered.
Yeah.
You know,
it was just combat situations. He wasn't murdering anybody.
Yeah, he wasn't going out. Like, and another thing that I felt... God, we're just kind of going all over the place. The branding.
Yeah.
I thought the branding was a really cool idea. I liked that he was putting his mark on dudes and that they were having to go to jail and stuff like that with this bat mark. Although I thought it was weird that people with the bat mark were getting killed in prison. And I don't know who... We were talking about that.
It was never made clear.
It was never made clear who was killing those guys that were branded. Was it Bruce that was murdering those guys, having those guys murdered? Or was it Lex that was having those guys murdered?
I have no idea. Because they were saying... The inmates were basically saying people with the mark end up getting killed in jail.
Which doesn't make sense to me because you think that they would form some type of... But that would be like Penguin's henchmen. Or, you know, guys who get out on a technicality or whatever the fuck. And then they go and they find, like, Joker or Two-Face and, like, these fuckers are going to stick it to Batman. I'm going to team up with him.
Yeah.
So you'd think that they would have, like, several of these brands and stuff.
Yeah,
like
there was a scene where, like, somebody... I don't remember if it was Lex's henchman.
It was the lead henchman. It was the guy we were just talking about that got blowed up.
Was all, like...
He went and set up a thing with that fucking inmate.
To kill... Oh, yeah, he gave him the shiv and then they went and shivved him. So, like, were they afraid that these guys... had talked to Batman?
About what?
Or what was the point of being like, they've been branded by the Bat, they gotta go? What? Why?
Yeah. Why? That's my big reaction.
And if it
to
was
the whole
Lex's...
movie.
Okay,
Why?
and here's the thing. And if it was Lex's people who were killing the people branded with the Bat, and this is what I brought up, why in the final scene did fucking... Bruce almost brand Lex as like a threat that he would get killed in jail.
That's where the question came from, because we're like, so Bruce is having these people killed because he's like, I know fuckers inside, and they'll give you the worst time, and he fucking then punches the wall. But yeah, dude, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't know, dude. And Lex is like the worst fucking Lex Luthor ever.
Oh, yeah.
He's the Riddler. He was the Riddler. He wasn't Lex. Just, like, and I mean, those are complaints that I can go off for, like, the next hour, dude.
Yeah.
Just, like, being a comic book fan and looking at the terrible misrepresentation of so many characters. Just murdering Jimmy Olsen right off the bat, being like, oh yeah, all that cheesy, like good guy stuff doesn't exist. So fuck Jimmy Olsen and fuck Happy Superman, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was ridiculous, dude.
So, what's odd is we're basically just bitching and complaining and wondering why it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wasn't terribly bored. It didn't feel its length. I was dreading.
At the beginning, it drug, dude. It drug at that beginning.
After the fight, and I mean the Superman-Batman fight. I don't mean after the whole showdown, because the Doomsday thing was just so boring.
It was stupid. And then he just takes off and leaves at one point.
After that, yes, there didn't need to be 40 more minutes of movie.
No.
That's what really fucking...
Well, the thing that was so weird was they spent no time on developing a possible friendship between Bruce and Clark. And then at the end of the movie, it was like, who paid for the funeral? Oh, a mysterious benefactor.
Yeah.
Here comes Bruce.
And then I was just like, wait a minute. So, like, how does everybody know Superman's dead?
Yeah.
If Superman and Clark died at the same time, but there's no... So they're having a Superman funeral in Metropolis, and in Smallville, they're having Clark's funeral. And then they say they're burying an empty box over there in Metropolis. Then how do they know he's dead if they don't have a body?
They put Zod's
Did
body
somebody
there.
just tell them, oh, Superman died? And who had the authority that they would believe? Does Batman tell them?
I hadn't even thought about that.
No, that shit, dude. There's so many things that don't make any fucking
I
sense.
hadn't even thought about that part.
But yeah, the first 2 hours went by pretty quickly. I was confused, but I was also intrigued. And then when I realized that the movie was going nowhere and we had an hour of nonsense, that's when it drug. You're right.
Yeah. No, I was just like, oh my God, Clark's getting put on the sports piece. He doesn't care about football. Oh, now he's doing investigative reporting. Okay, we're going to watch Clark do some investigative. No, we're not going to see that. We're going to watch Batman briefly talk to Diana Prince, but she's going to walk away because she can't figure out flash drives. And
military level encryption, Josh.
It had NSA level encryption. Eric Snowden can figure it out, no fucking problem. But nobody else can.
I don't think that his first name is Eric.
I thought his name was Eric.
I think it's Edward.
Is it Edward?
Yeah.
Fuck, man!
You need to watch that movie with the Joe Gords. Is that Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
It is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I want to see it.
Okay.
Snowden. But yeah, dude, just nonsense. But anyway, I don't understand the rabid hate. I don't understand the rabid love. It sucks. I don't understand why it exists. I understand why the love exists.
Yeah.
And I was going to get into that once we had talked a bit about Suicide Squad and the ridiculousness that's going on surrounding that.
Yes. The controversy, as it were.
Stop saying that. But we haven't seen Suicide Squad, so we can't judge the film.
The plan for today's podcast was to talk about Suicide Squad. Because we were excited.
Yes. Oh, very, very
cautiously optimistic.
Because this was going to be the one I thought that was going to set DC on the correct track.
Exactly, but excited nonetheless.
Uh-huh.
But we're going to probably still see it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we'll see it no matter what. But
I am still cautiously optimistic. Ryan is not. And I mean, it's not without merit because it is getting so much shit. And the only people that seem to be defending it are crazed lunatics.
Yeah. There was more of a mixed bag when it came to Batman versus Superman, both in critics' opinions that I care about.
And the average moviegoer.
And the average online discussion.
Yeah.
This one is universally hated by any critic that I give a shit about.
Yeah.
And every online discussion is fuck you, you Marvel fanboy piece of shit.
Yeah.
This movie is amazing and go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's funny because there's no average moviegoer that just wanted to go see a fucking movie. If you don't like it, you're in love with Marvel. And I mean, you could fucking hate Marvel movies. You know, it's ridiculous.
But the thing that pisses me off the most is, of course, you can never judge what the movie is going to be about
based off the trailer.
But they usually
they tell you the whole story.
Exactly. But they usually like to set a tone for what the movie is going to be.
But the tone changed in this movie so much just from trailer to trailer.
Yeah, and I had heard, and basically what I keep hearing is that it's an obvious last-minute decision to try to be more Deadpool, lighthearted Guardians of the Galaxy. There's soundtracks that seem out of place.
Yeah.
There's jumbled edits.
Yeah.
And
I've heard it compared when it comes to the editing and the story flow to Fantastic Four, the last 2015.
Yes.
Yeah, the 2015 Fantastic Four. Because you can see the difference between the reshoots and stuff like that. And it just jumps everywhere and doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah,
so it worries me. And I just thought, like...
You have a right to be
I thought
concerned.
they were just going to have... Apparently everybody says it's made clear that there was a vision for this movie and it wasn't what was advertised. Mm-hmm. They re-edited and reshot shit to make it what they were advertising, and it feels jumbled. I was excited to see somebody come in with the idea of making it a lighthearted, not lighthearted.
Yeah, but not the Zack Snyder verse.
Exactly, yeah. a fun like focused fucking movie.
A movie
with character characters that matter and
that have stories.
Yeah, but apparently somebody had a vision and they changed it, and I was excited to see this finally being like, all right, they're just gonna let this guy do his thing and let's see this fun suicide. No, apparently it's not that. So I'm just kind of like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I can understand why, and this is what I was gonna say about the whole thing. I can understand why there's so many DC fans out there that are going, fuck you, it's great, or fuck you, it's good. Because, like, before Iron Man, that was the Marvel Universe. Like, the X-Men movies, 1 and 2, weren't fantastic. 2 was great. 2 was really good. Parts of 2 are fantastic.
Yeah.
3 is a steaming pile of shit.
Oh, yeah.
But 1... was the first good comic book movie, I would say, since the first Batman film, the 1989, and Tim Burton's Batman, and then the Superman one, which there wasn't a good one in between that time span. There was Superman 1 and Superman 2, which were both very highly revered, dated at this point for sure, definitely beyond their time.
Yeah.
But still, 2 of my favorite Superman.
Yeah, they're still enjoyable. I don't know if they're too dated.
No, it's just the technology. If you want Superman looking cool while he flies, you're not going to get it from those movies. But they're still fucking fantastic. Like, I mean, Zod is an amazing villain too. I love him. But aside from like those 3, you didn't get a good comic book movie until X-Men, and X-Men kind of turned everything on its head. And was like trying to set things in a more real world, real world consequences, real world people with superpowers and stuff like that. And that kind of gave birth to what we have now.
Yes.
But even with X-Men and the parts of X-Men 2 that were good, you were still getting the best that you could get.
Yeah.
And it was just, and I can understand from that point of view why there's a lot of DC fans going, fuck you, you guys are being dicks. These are great. And it's because they're getting the best that they're going to get. But then to juxtapose that, after we watched Batman versus Superman, I had to watch my nephew, and we sat down and we watched the Batman Superman animated adventures premiere. Which was a cartoon in the 90s, and it was fucking amazing. Spawned off of the Superman Adventures and the Batman the Animated Series. It was called The World's Finest. And it's a 90-minute movie about Batman and Superman, and it delivers a great Batman-Superman story, a fantastic tale of these two titans meeting each other for the first time, initially having a conflict and then having to rise above their personal issues, becoming friends, and then dealing with the evils of Lex Luthor and the Joker.
Yeah.
And it's 90 minutes long, and it tells a more cohesive, more fluid, everybody has an arc, everything makes sense. Superman is still Superman. Batman isn't, driven mad with rage. It's a great movie. If you out there, listeners, have never seen it, especially if Batman v Superman let you down, go watch World's Finest. I think it's on Netflix. I know it's on Amazon Prime. It's a fantastic film. I loved that show, and I loved that movie. I love pretty much every animated DC thing ever, and I can't, and this, finally I'm getting to my point. I don't understand why we're settling when they have a proven track record. They have proven creators. Get Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, I'm probably butchering his name, and Bruce Timm. Put those guys in charge of your live action movies.
Yeah.
Like that Marvel's got Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
They're getting Jeff Johns with Ben Affleck, and that's fantastic news.
Yes.
But I don't know still how much meddling is going to go on.
Well, that's my huge problem with this fucking movie. After Batman vs Superman, they were like, we're gonna take a new approach. You know, we got Suicide Squad coming out.
Yeah, they're redirecting.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Suicide Squad.
You're gonna make lighthearted looking trailers and then make giant messes.
Exactly, it's separated from the Batman, the Superman, the big thing, the big Justice League thing they have going on. So they're just gonna make a movie.
Yeah.
But from what everybody's saying, it's just fan service and trying to fit fucking focus group ideas of what people want in a superhero movie right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I was just expecting somebody's movie.
Well, the problem with Suicide Squad, and I said this initially, was they're not superheroes. They're not even anti-heroes. They are fucking psychopaths.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be leading with that to set up that. Yes, you could make a Suicide Squad movie, and I imagine it would be really cool. But if you wanted to go with a more edgy, anti-hero roguelike kind of thing, do The Outsiders with Nightwing, or do Doom Patrol. You don't lead with Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and what I was going to say, because you were talking about the Ben Affleck thing.
Yeah.
What pisses me off the most about this movie and what people are claiming has happened to it, fucking, that it's not very good and that fucking it could have been good. That's the thing that pisses me off the most. That there was definitely something there and they went out of their way to turn it into something that it wasn't.
That it didn't need to be.
And if they would have kept it the same, I would have been disappointed that it was more just... But who knows? It could have been good. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I haven't seen it, but... There's clearly meddling going on.
Oh, for sure.
And I was talking about from back when they cast Ben Affleck, they need Ben Affleck to be making these fucking movies.
Oh, yeah.
And now that he's making one, I was very excited. Suicide Squad looked like they're going in a little bit of a new direction. It's not just brooding Superman and fucking Zack Snyder bullshit.
Yeah.
But now
Grumpy face Superman.
I'm like, fuck. Are they going to let Ben Affleck just make the movie he wants for fuck's sake? Please?
Yeah.
Now I'm worried.
I feel like when it comes to Batman, they have a lot more faith than they do in any other DC character. I don't know why, because it's not like the 1989 Batman was any better than the 1970s Superman. Both are proven successes.
Yeah. Well,
when it comes to that, but then they made Superman Returns, and it was garbage. Superman Returns was one of the worst Superman movies. It's a terrible movie. Now it looks like one of the better ones. But so you can't say that Nolan came in and made the Batman verse what it is, and now Batman's the proven subject. You've never given anybody else a chance, and that's where I feel like, and I'm not. I love DC and I love Marvel just as much. I grew up reading both those comics. I just went through talking about how much I love the DC cartoons. Marvel's cartoons are utter crap, aside from Spectacular Spider-Man. That was a fantastic series.
And the X-Men.
For some.
Super awesome.
He loves the X-Men cartoon. He just discovered it.
I don't know what Gambit's voice is supposed to be.
He's supposed to be a Cajun or a Southerner at the least, and he's neither in that. Oh, what you gonna do? Oh, he's terrible.
And I'm confused by his power set. But dude,
anyway,
Apocalypse.
Anyway,
is amazing. Anyway, I wasn't paying attention.
But yeah, anyway,
you know what you're talking about.
Anyway, I remember. I love both. But when it comes to being willing to take risks, Marvel seems to be king. Because there's no fucking way that Thor should have been as successful as it was. I'm talking about the first one, not the second one, which I love. I love the second Thor.
Yeah, Thor 2 is fine.
And Captain America. A hero like Captain America is a hero like Superman is supposed to be. And for some, they just fucking went with it. They didn't change him. They didn't make him a dick. They didn't make him some angst-ridden, daddy issue having guy. They just, he's got his sad moments and stuff like that. And I feel like the fact that he's so positive makes the darker moments for him much more palpable, and much more real. But that's the thing, is like they're terrified. DC and WB seem terrified to use anyone but Batman. Like, because Green Lantern was a disaster. And that's I don't know why you don't have enough faith in the characters that you're trying to put films out of. And I mean, I feel like that's what happened with Suicide Squad. They didn't have enough faith in the characters, enough faith in the story to let it be what it is. The Guardians shouldn't have worked. Guardians,
it's fucking Warner Brothers, man.
It is. It is.
They have a studio that's worried about, that doesn't look at it like it's this DC movie, so people are going to go see it. They're more worried about, like, how is this movie like other movies that are proven to make money? Mm-hmm. They won't just be like, yeah, well, it's not like this movie because it's different. And then be like, but people probably are going to like this. Mm-hmm. No, they're like, no, it has to be like this, or it has to be like that, or it has to be like, I wonder what the fuck's going to, like, dude, all these movies that I'm, like, excited for, like, what the fuck's going to happen to Wonder Woman now? Oh, how are they going to fucking spin that?
No shit.
By the time, because what's going to come out on Marvel's side? But fucking Doctor, they're like, how can we make fucking Wonder Woman more like Doctor Strange?
Yeah, right. She'll start bending reality and flipping buildings on their tops and stuff. I don't know, dude. I
Except for honestly, and
they'll make her more like Thor. They'll make her more. Well, she's the Greek version of Thor in their world.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I was gonna say, I think they already are on the. I think they're doing a copycat with it, but they're on the right track, and they're copying a movie that already came out.
Yeah, exactly.
So they shouldn't change it.
No,
because they're just like First Avenger.
First Avenger worked, right?
Yeah.
Set in the old days, in the old timies. I don't know, dude. It's just, I get what DC fans are doing, dude. They're taking the best they can get, and they're trying to, they're deluding themselves into thinking that it's great. Because I did that, dude. I argued for Ben Affleck's Daredevil for forever, and that's a fucking horrible movie. I argued for Nick Cage's Ghost Rider, both of them, and they were both god awful. The first Fantastic Four movie, I was all about it, dude. So I know what it's like to sit there and watch a crap movie. You know it's fucking crap, but you know you're not going to get anything better in a live action setting. So you tell yourself and everyone around you, no, it's great, and you know it's crap.
Yeah, it's true. I should have just gone and watched the movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give myself a little bit of time, and most things kind of melt away in my brain when I'm watching a movie anyways, even if I heard nothing but bad or nothing but good. Mm-hmm. And I kind of just get into the movie, but I'm just kind of like, that's in my mind now. And I think I'm probably going to be looking for, like, did they change this?
You're going to analyze it. Yeah. You're going to analyze it and break it down instead of just trying to watch it.
Instead of just trying to watch it. Right. But, and I should have seen it we should have seen it because this conversation would be we'd have a lot more insight.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. It's kind of like, what choice do we have? If you're a hardcore fucking Joker and Harley Quinn fan, what choice do you have?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and that's an argument that I think, God, what's his name? One of the guys on fucking YouTube was saying, like, people are like, wow, this movie's fucking great. Why are all these people knocking it? They're knocking it as a movie.
Yeah.
You're excited because it gave you a character that you're into, and you fucking
Deadshot's on screen, and you love Deadshot,
and you can buy a new fucking action figure, and it's like,
yeah,
and I'm just like, but like, I don't have that level of fandom about things.
No,
like my disappointment.
Oh, that's not true.
With the Amazing Spider-Man.
That's not true. That's not true. You know what you have a fandom of that's that strong. You have a fandom of two things that are that strong.
But
You have a fandom of Star Wars and the Lego movie.
Okay. Well, fucking the Lego movie can do no wrong. For Star Wars though, I'm clearly able to judge a movie.
Oh yeah.
Not just because it has lightsabers in it.
Yeah.
I'm capable of doing that. Some other people don't give a shit.
Just because of the mere existence of a thing does not make it quality.
Yeah. Like, I guess I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. If I'm super into something and the movie fucking sucks, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Well, yeah, there has to be an objectivity to it.
Yeah.
You can't just be, well, it's got the DC logo on it. I read the DC comic. It's got Green Lantern in it. This is obviously the best thing that's ever existed for this.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah. So I just don't know.
It's exhausting.
We got to see the movie.
Yeah.
Fucking, I understand it, but it's also like, just own it then. Don't go off and try to shut down Rotten Tomatoes because they unjustly.
Did you hear though that guy came out and was just like, it was just a joke?
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
After it got a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, because, Warner Brothers owns
Rotten Tomatoes.
So they have a website that's biased against their own movies.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, it's just like, it just collects reviews. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't do the reviews.
Yeah. Well,
they just collect them.
Well, it's just like the petitions to get reviews taken off of Metacritic, for Uncharted.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just can't even right now. The superhero fatigue is real. We've talked about
We've
it
discussed
becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And it's definitely real for me right now.
I get it.
DC, Marvel, whatever.
Well, dude, we were talking the other day about the Comic-Con trailers. Neither of us really, really dwelled on the fact that there was a Doctor Strange trailer coming out. We talked about it. We did talk about it. Because it doesn't look like a superhero movie. It looks like a crazy Magic Time type of thing. But we were more pumped for other projects that are coming out.
Exactly.
This whole year, we've mostly talked about like The Nice Guys and other movies that we've seen. You showed me Creed. That was fantastic.
That was last year, but yeah, fucking.
But I saw it this year.
Yeah, end of the year shit.
But but yeah, dude, I really think that my fear was that this was going to run its course.
Yeah.
And I feel like poor DC got on the boat late. And I feel like Marvel's losing momentum.
Yeah. I mean, they just had their biggest hit movie since Avengers.
Yeah. And I was going to say it's slowing, but it's still successful.
And I'm going to go see Strange, and I'm excited for Ant-Man, and I know that I'm going to see these movies, and I know that I'm probably going to like most of them.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not getting excited anymore.
No,
it's a status quo. It's like that comedies come out every year.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about the cool new crazy comedy.
Well, we were talking about Star Trek.
Yeah.
And how there's so much time between each film that you get a chance to be excited for the next Star Trek and stuff like that. And I feel like this was my complaint initially, and I know that they're starting to step away from that list that they pumped out.
Yeah, they're already changing it.
They're already starting to change it, which I think is a good thing. We shouldn't have known about any form of that.
No.
At all. And it should have been left to speculation. And there should be more time between each sequel and film. It's like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get another Call of Duty every movie and every year, and it's going to be the same fucking game with just minor aesthetic changes. And I feel like that except
for the single player. I know this isn't about Call of Duty, but that single player for the new one looks pretty cool.
I really want to play that game.
Yeah.
That game looks cool as shit. Oh, what have we done?
Oh no.
But with the Marvel movies, it's always the same story.
Yeah.
They always find a way to be a team and punch the thing in the face. Or he finds a way to overcome his personal issues and punch the thing in the face. There's that what's going to happen each movie.
That's why I'm ready to watch Civil War again, which is coming up pretty quick for Blu-ray. And we'll talk about it more in depth because we're going to
September, November,
beginning of September. At least that movie did not end that way.
Yes.
I was upset with
Civil War turns
parts
it
of
on
the
its head,
ending,
yeah.
but at least it wasn't that. In retrospect, I guess I was being a little harsh, fucking, like, that they were fucking ending it without it being like, let's all work as a team and fuck the bad guy.
Well, it's what we talked about. We've talked about a couple times. They needed to leave it at Black Panther's ending.
Yes.
They should have ended it with because Black Panther's ending of that movie does not end with a fist fight.
No.
It ends with a conversation, which is what should have been going on that entire fucking time. And they should have found a way to bring Cap, Bucky, and Iron Man all together with Black Panther at the end of that film. And Black Panther's little, like, I'm consumed by this, and you're, just everybody's doing this shit, and look what's going on. We have to talk,
I think
that should have been the end of that film.
I think they should have still had it. We'll talk more about this later.
Yeah, we'll do more with that.
I don't want to get into it right now.
But no, I back to our original point. I feel you on that superhero fatigue starting.
Yes,
it's definitely getting to the point where it's like, oh my god, I got another one.
Yeah, I'm ready for some high fantasy, some more fucking
which
science
is on
fiction.
Its way,
which we got Star Wars and Star Trek is doing great.
Did you see the trailer for the Jeremy Renner, Amy Adams piece that's coming out?
No.
Arrival. There's aliens on Earth, and we have to go find out what's on the ship and stuff. It's a very quick teaser.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty interesting. I'm very interesting to see what they do. It looks like it's going to be one of those ones where you go, the most time instead of like, whoa, fucking explosions, spaceships and stuff.
Which is fine.
It's one of those ones. It's one of those, but it's not hard sci-fi, but it's some other kind of thing.
Thought-provoking.
Yeah, thought-provoking, I guess. It's they get together, they get a linguist and all this kind of shit, and they go aboard the ship to talk.
Okay, this laptop is dying.
Oh shit!
And so we can either wrap this up, which we've been going for an hour, or I can get the charger. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
You wanted to talk about.
I think I'm gonna wait. Let's not spoil it. I think I'm gonna wait.
All right, man. Maybe we do a little bonus tonight or something like that.
Yes, perhaps.
It's been a week, so maybe we owe it.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. But anyways, so that's basically our thoughts on the current state of DC, Marvel, everything.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a jumbled mess.
This one was, we jumped all over the place.
But,
apologies for that. It's a ranty one.
But it's just exhaustion.
It's a jumbled mess about a jumbled mess.
Yeah, it's just mental exhaustion, and I feel like our conversation reflects the state of these movies.
Exactly.
All right, Josh. So we have we had a lot of promises 2 weeks ago.
We had a lot of we're not going to make any promises. We have content coming.
We do.
One thing that we're going to try to get done either sometime this week or next week.
Yes. We're going to start working on it directly after this.
Yes,
so.
And then we have a big thing coming up sometime down the road. I'm trying not to make as many promises. Classic Ketchup is coming.
Is on the way.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about trying to get done within the week.
We have another skit, which we've told you we changed.
Yes.
Script is in progress.
Yeah, we have to
shot list.
We have a shot list. We have to go look for spots to film.
We have to have locations and cast and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a little bit.
We're ambitious with this one.
But it is going to be quite good. And Classic Ketchup is going to start. And, we're just working. Josh's commitments with his theater are coming to an end pretty soon. And we will have content on the way.
Yeah.
So,
coming at you.
You can find us everywhere. Mighty Fish Podcast. We're on SoundCloud. We're on YouTube. Mighty Fish Productions. That's where you'll find all the videos, also the podcast. But you can catch the podcast on almost every major podcasting app or site.
Yep.
I have been Ryan.
And I am still Josh.
All right. We will see you later. Say bye, Josh.
Bye, Josh.